time I've been up here to visit you guys, and each time I come, it's a bigger group. The weather is better, so I'm glad to see all of you out of hibernation now. I know I'm super excited about the weather. But it's interesting because I have a friend staying with me right now. And I said, oh, tomorrow I'm going to be going up to Republic. And they said, where's that? And so I tried to explain it to them. And so finally they got on their Google stick and they looked it up in maps. And they go, oh, that's a 2.5 hour drive. And I said, yeah. I said, I'll be gone about a total of 6 hours. They, wait a minute, you're going to drive 5 hours round trip for an hour? And I said, well, actually, it's more like 15 minutes, but yes, I am. And, and so I was about ready to launch into the, why we go out to the rural areas speeches, and I have a handful of them, and they go, well, there's hardly any Democrats there. And I said, well, there used to be. There used to be. Farmers were Democrats. Labor union membership, not just leadership, were Democrats. Middle class Americans, working class Americans were Democrats. We were the people's party. And now we're the coastal elites. How many of y'all feel like a coastal elite in this room? It's interesting because we know things change. I mean, the Republicans are fond of calling themselves the party of Lincoln, and they couldn't be further from that right now. But, people change oftentimes when they're seeking something, when they're seeking answers, when they're seeking change, or when they're seeking someone to blame. The orange Svengali, as much as we kind of know he's a snake oil salesman, he did tap into something. He tapped into the emotion. He tapped into the 10% unemployment rate in areas like this. He tapped into the fact that little movie theaters and the cafes, thank God this one is still open, yes, because a lot of small towns like this, the cafes have locked up. Maybe they're available for, special events. That farmers no longer have any bargaining power. That short rail has shut down. That the tax base, because of this, manufacturing has moved overseas or down south of our border. And so little by little, they have eroded that. So when they say make America great again, and you live in a small town, you're like, yeah. And then he provides someone to blame it on. Because then isn't it always easier to blame someone else for your problems, to rationalize, to change? And certainly I see the areas like this more as victims. Certainly our farming communities with manufacturing. I mean, we have such grand income disparity in this country, and it has been 40 years of trickle-down economics. Reagan pulled the rug out from underneath our farmers, and just one by one, little industries, home industries, small businesses, vertical markets, cottage industries, they just started drying up. And it's funny because I brought my stuff with me today in a little Amazon box. And that is a double-edged sword. Because in some ways now it helps small business get their word out. It brings things to you that you would have to travel all the way to Spokane for or try to find. Those of you that have internet, you mentioned that you don't have internet. So there are building blocks that we need for these areas. And so I come here not just because I have lovely, friendly faces to see. I don't come here to try and fight against the Trump supporters. I come here because of the commonality. I come here because regardless of whether you're Democrat or Republican, you need affordable health care. Americans support Social Security. I come here for that one gay kid who's terrified to come out of the closet. I come here for the wife and mother who all around her community is talking about what an evil abortion is, but she knows she wouldn't be here alive today if it weren't for abortion services. I come here today for the farmers that just know they're getting ripped off. I come here today for better education, for increased wages. I come here today because you are just as important as every other part of this district, and that this is America. I come here for the drive, and I come here because I need you to know that you're important. I need you to know that I will put you first, that I'm not here because of career or because I want to be a bigwig. I'm here to be a civil servant. I'm here to actually bring representation to Congress for the 5th District, which we have not had in a very long time. And I am here today to let you know my name is Anne Marie Danimus, and I will be your next Congresswoman. Thank you.